Okay, I thought I'll do something new today. I will show you how do I get my moving dot. Number one in the list is to highlight all the different tracks for that particular day. Then with that lot, right click, join the selected tracks, OK, and say no, do not delete the original tracks. Now the problem here is because I've selected all the tracks for the trip up to day one back, it's a bit muddled up. So I will now take that one and then copy that into a specific one that says track map and delete the previous one. And always with Basecamp use shift delete, otherwise everything just moved to uncollected or unlisted. You can see my unlisted stay blank or empty rather, because I just deleted everything in there. So in track map I've got that. Normally I would now rename that to show me the day, and this was the 21st track. Okay, good. Now by double clicking on that, it'll open up and it's centralized on the screen. I will now drag this a bit to the left. I will look at this lot, and all I do at this point, I will just make this a little bit narrower, get it a bit up to there, click there and press the down arrow. Now as you can see, it is moving horrendously slow. So in order to sort that out, I will go back to the top, go to filter, and I'm currently running at, that was the unfiltered one, so I normally go at 150. What this will do, it'll reduce the number of waypoints or pins or whatever this is called, and it is suddenly much faster. And I think the one I normally use is 100. So be careful. Once you've saved that, you can pick up a lot of issues where that new value will now be permanently there, and you will actually lose track definition. If you can see that tracks came down to 221 from the original one. If I close that one and I go to the original one, you can see it's been reduced from 4,000. Unfortunately, be careful. If you click on filter here, it's going to stuff it up. So what I normally do, the default for Basecamp is 100. So I'll just leave it at 100, and it should not reduce the 402 if I remember correctly. In fact, it did, so it stuffed that one up as well. So just be careful. Okay, now I normally delete these two because I don't need them anymore. They just clutter the system. So there's my little runaround. So if I will then go to number one there, and the dot is there. Another thing is that I might have refueled, and a lot of time was spent on this one. It wasn't the case, but when I got to Swakop, I did visit a customer that worked there for a while. So you could see there was a little bit of a sitting there. Depending on the time, I will make a decision whether to cut those points out here. You can now highlight a few by going shift down arrow and pressing the delete. It'll then remove them. I know for a fact down at Solitaire, I stood there for quite a while. Let's just run down. I stood there for quite a while and had lunch or supper rather, and eventually I went to the guest house. So in that particular one there, I will definitely cut out a lot of that nonsense. So I'll go there, and it's 149, and now I go shift down arrow. Oh, no, I can't. You see, that's where you learn. So press escape rather. Go to anyone there. I'm trying to find where I'm moving again there. That was the 7 kilometers, and the top one, so that's 215, and the other one was, so basically from about there. Yeah, from about there, I can now run down to 215. And then just delete that lot, shift delete, and they were gone now. So the time I spend there is not relevant anymore. Once this lot is done, I then minimize this lot, and I've got a capture program called Ice Cream. I think this thing cost about 300 Rand or something. I prefer to buy the stuff so I can get the support and I can get the proper stuff. Otherwise I will go for the shareware items. Ice Cream is in fact quite powerful. If it opens up, yep, there's opening up. There's hundreds and hundreds of settings you can do. At this point, I normally open up Basecamp again. Everything is there. I will normally move up to number 1 here just to get everything settled there. I go to ice cream and I say capture video, and I go to custom area. Now here it's important to try and keep your aspect ratio. So you might need to make a thing a bit wider and than normal. So let's now go. So it's capture video, custom area. I will now go from about there to maximum there. That's about the squareness I want. Now you click on record. It'll give you a few minutes. You click on record. I now click here and I wait for it, and there the grab is now running. I can now press down arrow. At this point, I will also look at other options. What I've done lately is I added, with the video editor, I added the city or town names just to make it a bit more interesting. If you now press F8, it'll give you time to stop, and then you stop and you can give it a name, and that was Namibia day 5. Namibia day 5. And the thing will be dropped on the desktop, where I put everything on the desktop, and from there I move it to where I want. You can now close this one, and you can say, listen, I'm happy with that, and you close this one, and you say close this one. We can now close everything, and just remember, Basecamp saves everything. Everything just gets saved. So this will be my next screen. So somewhere on this there will be my day 5, and there I've got my little intro waiting time, and then it'll run. During the editing of the video, I will speed it up or slow it down based on the number of points I want to make of interest, and that's it. That's how I do my little running video.